Hey guys, Merry Christmas from Erie Arachnids. Just wanted to give you guys a quick view of a few things. There is the Faunopelma moderatum's actually up top for a change. So I thought I'd give you a real quick glance before it goes back down. The Tabus penniloris sling molted a few days back. So there's that. If you guys pay attention, you notice that before these systemas here, is these ones here, there used to be ones right next to it. Well, they're right here because they're empty right now. Those are the 3 spiders that have been rehoused, which we're going to go over here in a minute. We moved these. I can't remember what type of enclosures these are. The ones I got from the Christmas tree shop. The Simoni, the Darlingi, who is in desperate need of a molt. Probably, yep. You can see it back there. It's huge. And this is the Ephiopus marinus, who molted probably 4 or 5 days ago. I just saw the molt, threw it up top, so anxious to see that one come out. So my plans for these are undecided. I do believe I want to move the Ephiopus cyanognathus in that green container right there with the sphagnum moss in there, the beak moss. I think I want to move into one of these because they're bigger. Now the depth is probably just as good as that one is. And then the middle container there is the Monocentropas balfouri solo. We'll move into one of these to give it more room to do what it needs to do. I get worried because it seems to be feeding really well in that softball cube, so I'm worried about moving it. But we're going to, over this period of time, clean out this guy. This is the female Vicularia metallica. Probably move her into the vacant Rubbermaid snap type that was from the Versicolor. Now that I got that stuff taken care of, back with we're going to move the female Vicularia metallica out of this enclosure, put it into the vacant one of these, and get that cleaned out, and we'll probably either put her back in there, or she may be a candidate for one of the clear acrylics that I'm going to put together over this next month. So you can see here's the, oh, you can't really tell because it's shining, how big the abdomen is on that Darlingi. It's like absolutely huge. I've never seen this one ventrally, so I might take a gander while we're getting ready to set up for the spiders that have been rehoused. And I still have those 2 and those 2 there that I can use, those small critter keepers, which I'd like to use for stuff that's, you know, either in here, those 3 probably right there. I think I want to move the Sazame out of here. That's one of the ones that's coming out for sure, the Sazame, and maybe the Rubronitins, and you can also see that there is the Baumgarteni is in Primo also. Nice and shiny, but not dark yet. So everybody else is doing good. I'm just going to do no one's getting fed today, although Chindi probably could use another quick meal. I forgot to tell you guys before that these were the 2 enclosures for the Babycurus jacksoni scorpions that died. So I put the 2 Phidippus odyx jumping spiders into those, and they're having a blast in there. Well, they got a nice room. This one webbed the crap, made a nice little web funnel. This one just walks around all the time. So hopefully they'll be in some future videos. But yeah, I fed the assassin bugs yesterday. That seems to be a lot less little babies than I thought I put in there. So I'm worried that maybe the other ones ate them, even though they get fed quite often. Still haven't get a molt from
the female Davus peniloris or the male Davus peniloris, neither one of them. And I also checked the Aphonopelma chalcodes. She did not drop an egg sac yet, but she's looking huge. So it could still be months before she does, if she does. I'm just kind of hoping that she does. But and here is the infamous Cheeto. Looks so much more orange. Now, I fed Cheeto. I don't know if it ate it because it was running away from the cricket that I put in there, but I'm sure it eventually got a hold of it. Not a very good eater online. Okay, so here was the, this is the Lasiodora parahybana, suspected female. Now, this is the one that I rehoused, I don't know, a week and a half ago or so, and I think I showed you guys the, the enclosure itself. And what I did was I used the organic potting soil as a base, and the riser, what I would call it, where it's higher down here for the spiders to dig in, because it's more structurally sound than regular just cocoa peat. Not that they can't burrow in cocoa fiber, but this stuff, is a little bit better for them to burrow in. So she decided that she wanted to renovate, so she's dug whatever she's dug before, or since I put her in there. Not before, but since I put her in there. She dug all that stuff out that you could see there. And I'm not really quite sure because I haven't looked in the back side of her yet. So we're going to flip her around here and just see what we can see, if anything. Okay, so we'll kind of bring you guys down to this level. Same thing with the light. Now you can see she dug everything out of right here. So everything that was in there, you could see her leg right there. She's right back there. She wasn't in pre-molt, but and believe it or not, even as a little one, when I got her, she didn't dig. But what I found is, just in the last few actual spiders that I've rehoused, that they may not have dig in certain spots or certain times of their life, or in certain enclosures that you put them in. So, as a sling, she had some decent size substrate, enough for her to dig in, and she never did it. And then she just gradually got bigger. We put her into the Systema, and she didn't do anything there. But I didn't have a lot of dirt in there, only because she didn't dig in the last one. Well, you could see on this one, it's not like she burrowed down, don't get me wrong. Now, if that piece of wood wasn't there for her to hide in, we're going to bring you back up again. The cork bark for her to hide in, would she have dug there if I would have made that all dirt? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But now she's got a hide, and it's decent size. That hide it's half of the enclosure, so it's from the middle part all the way to the back. So she's got a nice decent den there to hide in. We may have to coax her out when we want to feed her now, to be actually able to see her. I try to make it as naturalistic as I possibly could get. That organic potting soil will stay moist as long as it's together. When you bring it out, you can see it starting to dry here on the top, but here it's still nice and moist inside there. Not moist, damp, but it's got some moisture content to it, so there's a little bit of humidity in there for her. So that's the suspected female Lasiodora parahybana. Total enclosure, if you could see, there's the whole entire, better even out the little feet here of the tripod. Hopefully this sound is better this time. I guess the last video it wasn't so good, and I'm not quite sure I had the microphone all the way in. Now this time when I turned it on, you could see where, when you plug it in, you could see it's showing up as, you're listening to headphones, or the headphones little icon comes up. So, yeah, that's where we're at with this one. So let me get the other two. These are two you haven't seen yet. the enclosures anyway. And we'll probably try and feed at least one of them. I don't know that we're going to feed both of them, but we may try feeding one of them. So let me get those two down here and let you guys see them. Okay, so the first of the two, this is the one I actually just rehoused about 45 minutes ago. This is Obi. This is the Brachypelma Hamori's new enclosure. This is the 13.5 inch, I think, clear display case. I think 13.5 by 5.5 by 5.5, I think, are the dimensions. So what I did here is I want to replicate like a hillside somewhat. Because I watched a handful of videos over the course of the last handful of days when I had some odd time on Brachypelma species in natural. It seems like they like to burrow in hillsides and actually under rocks. They like to just squeeze underneath a rock and kind of make themselves a little home underneath there. So what I did is, you could see I took that piece of bark, and you can see how it is at angle straight down, and then just kind of put some fake plants around it just for some aesthetics. But Obi's in there. He wasn't real thrilled about the move. Actually, the first time that I've had him, that he kicked hairs. So he's got a couple little rub marks, and it's going to take him a little while to get used to being in here. So hopefully the next couple days he'll start wandering around and be able to get some pictures of him. But he went right into that cork tube. And again, he had a cork tube in his enclosure that he was in that he never used. Matter of fact, the few pieces of, or the few small fake plants that I had, he pulled them out of the ground and stuffed them inside that hole. So yeah, it was a struggle, him and I. And I did the same thing here, as you can see off to the side here. You can see I used the organic topsoil. It's Nature's Choice. These are like organic fertilizer things here, or moisture holders, or whatever they are. They don't harm your tarantula whatsoever. Been using this stuff for 3 years. Other people have used Scott's brand with this stuff in it for years. It doesn't. Fertilizers really don't do anything to your tarantula as long as they're not chemicals. I try to get stuff that says organic on it. If it says organic on it, then there shouldn't be any chemicals in it whatsoever. But yeah, this is a green bag, Nature's Choice. You can get it at Home Depot, Lowe's, Walmart. I got the big, huge bag at Walmart at the end of the season in the fall on clearance for $2. So I should have bought 2 of them. I almost did, but I didn't really have any place to put the other one indoors. And I didn't want to keep it outdoors because, the cold weather was coming. So I'll get some more next year, but I still have half a bag of it and half a bag of the big bag of the cocoa fiber, and I still have the Reptisoil. I have some other stuff, other types of soils too, and I'd like to try just a regular Scott's brand topsoil next year and see how that works. I used peat moss before, and I got a big, huge, I don't remember, was it 3 cubic yards of this stuff for like $9 or something, which is a good deal, but it had so many sticks in it, and it gets dusty when it dries. It gets real dusty. So I wasn't a real fan of it, and I never mixed it with anything. So I may try that next year, mixing it with some topsoil and some cocoa fiber. And I do like the Reptisoil. It's very heavy. That's the only problem with it, is it is rather heavy. But it's a nice, natural looking dark substrate. And I was actually going to kind of like just put that on top of here just to give it the black earth kind of look, because I thought that Obi would look cool on that, but he's, there's a lot of black in him, so I didn't want him to be washed out with the soil. So I decided to leave the cocoa fiber top, and he can burrow through the back of that if he wants to. And you'll know if he does, because he'll pull all this stuff, he'll start pulling stuff out, and then these plants will end up falling down. But yeah, he moved in, and like I said, I put in his old stick right here that he likes to sit on, and I just put in a small flat cork bark in there because he does like to sit on wood for some reason. I'm not really quite sure why, and they always make for good pictures when he's on those. So okay, so that's Obi. We're going to get to the last rehouse guy. Again, Obi's a suspected male. We'll determine that for sure this next molt. There should be no ifs, ands, or buts about it on this next molt, but I didn't see anything in the previous molt at all. So we'll find out for sure. It doesn't look like it's anytime soon. Probably a few months out, but yeah, let's get to the last one, and then I'm going to say goodbye for the Christmas season, and then I'll do the quick hits video sometime this week. I have enough compiled to do a decent video. Probably, I don't even know how many there are. I would say 10-12 minutes of quick hits. My problem is trying to find music that's that long. That's my only problem, with what I use, and then going to YouTube, what they have available to me isn't all that much. So if anybody has any suggestions on where I can get, music that's, and how, I don't even know how to dub like two, or put two musics together. I tried doing it and I couldn't figure it out. So like if I had a 6-minute song and then another 6-minute song for a 12-minute video, I don't know how to put those two together. I need to go online and do some research, but yeah, that'll be coming. Sometime, before the end of the year. That'll probably be the last video of the year. I do have spiders that are being mailed out, and it does look like I'm going to have a couple spiders coming in. A Iberpora diversipes and another Seriocosmus aurea, or A-U-E-R-I. I don't know how to pronounce that. Ori? Seriocosmus ori. That's what I'm going to say. Ori. My female is a good 2 inches. This one's coming in at 1.5 inches. We're not quite sure if it's going to be a male or not. It's probably not. It'll probably be another female, but that's okay. I kind of like the species, and everybody seems to really think they're really pretty. So I don't mind having a second one of those. And the diversipes has been one that's been on my list for a while that I wanted. I had one coming, and then something happened to the spider, so the shipper couldn't ship it out to me. Okay, let's move to the last one. We're going to feed the last one and see what happens. I think I got one more cricket left to feed them, and it's the last cricket I think I have. And we'll go from there. Okay, this is the Appalachius campostratus, the suspected male Dakota. I'll move the light back here. Maybe we'll be able to, there you can see him in there. The same size enclosure as Obies, and it's the same size enclosure as my female Grammostola pulchripes. So I had 3 of them. So these are the 3 that got one. I'm going to get one more and move the Nandu caropoensis into one of these also. And that's going to take care of a lot of those Systema enclosures. Like I said, I do want to move the Balfour, and I do want to move the Cyanognathus, but I may wait a little while to do that. And then put these up on the dresser in front of the other enclosures there, and try to rearrange some space somehow, because I do want to get the bigger ones that I have of these, the 15.5s, the lids cut, and get them set up for some arboreals. We're going to move the Poecilotheria fusca, the Salmopaeus pulcher, and the last one I'm not quite sure who we're going to put in. Definitely those first 2 are definitely going to move. Other than that, we're not quite sure. So let me get, I'm going to pause you. Well, actually, I'll just let you guys look. I'm going to grab a cricket and throw it in there and see if we can't get Dakota to come out. Microphone. So as you can see, this one I set up kind of just with natural stuff. There's a few fake plants in the back and a few fake leaves that came with the avicularias that I got the last time. And then I just used some Reptibark here in the front. It's not a good substrate to use by itself, but it does add a little bit of niceness. I like the way they look, and it's just like ground clutter. So it's no different than really, you know, the leaves that I have laying around. So let's throw a cricket in and see if Dakota might want to come out and eat. We'll see what the cricket does. And he does. So there he is. I had to pause you for a minute. Looks like he's going to do some moving and juking there. I'll let you guys watch him for a minute or two. See if I can zoom in a little bit more. As long as the picture stays clear, it's not too bad. Okay, so you could see him doing what people call the happy dance. What he's doing is he's putting down silk on the ground, and I'm not 100% sure why they do it. I don't know if everybody knows exactly why they do it. There's tons of theories out there. Part of it is they don't want anything coming in to where they're at, where they're feeding, so it would trigger on that webbing. Or to keep the area clean so that nothing gets on the prey item. Some spiders put a lot more silk down than others. He does it every now and then, not too often, but he does do it, and you can see he's taken to this enclosure really, really well. And he was another one that had nothing really to hide in. You know, I put him in there. He grew pretty quick, his last molt. And I had an area where he dug a little burrow, not a burrow, but like a den. Just like an indention in the ground. And there was a leaf that he kind of pulled over top of him. And that's what he climbed underneath and stayed underneath most of the time. But with this in here, he's got, again, he's got a nice long area to move dirt if he wants to, which he has not done yet. He hasn't moved anything around. He just kind of goes in there and hangs out. And this is his first feeding in this enclosure. So I think everything's good with him. Hopefully Obi will take to his. And again, this one's a suspected male also. Euopolaceus campostratus, the pink zebra beauty. Beautiful, beautiful species. Nice, calm. They resemble Grammostola pulchripes quite a bit. Of course, the coloring's different. The striations on the leg are pretty close, not exactly the same, but pretty close, so they get mixed up quite a bit. These, the Aphana palmasimani and the Grammostola pulchripes, to the untrained eye, it's not hard to mix them up a little bit. I think it's a good way to end this video here. And like I said, we'll have one more, we'll at least have the quick hits video coming out. Maybe he'll come out. No, probably not, he's still silking. And you can also see when he was, if you saw the cricket struggling a little bit, you see him raise up a little bit. And again, I think I've explained that before. My theory is to keep the prey item that's still struggling from getting a grasp of the ground and trying and escaping their fangs. And if they keep them up above the ground, they have no way to do that. So there, see how he goes up. The cricket was struggling a little bit there. He raised up. Sometimes they will put a silk web down and they'll put the prey item down and they'll web over it and then pick it back up. You know, again, there's theories on that, and that could be just to keep the prey item intact. So when they feed, nothing's going to escape through the silk. If any of you have put water on a webbing, you know that it pretty much holds the water till it evaporates. It doesn't seep through it really, or, you know, go right through it. No different than seeing a spider web out in the outdoors where you got to see the water droplets all over it. So if they liquefy their prey inside of a thin layer of webbing, nothing's going to come out. And then when they're done, they just finish wrapping up whatever they don't want to eat and discard it as a bolus. So we actually got some pretty decent footage of him. I'm pretty excited about that. I probably could have got a little bit closer with, let's just see real quick. I don't know how close I can get with the camera and the lighting. Let's see if we can get you a closer view down here. And then move the lighting back over top of us a little. Actually, the view the other way wasn't too bad, huh? Okay, well, that's Dakota. He is the star of today. And if anything molts or anybody molts here in the next week, if I get a couple things that I can do update on before the end of the year, then I will. But if not, you'll see again the quick hits video. And I just want to wish everybody again an extended holiday season and a happy beginning of 2018. I hope everybody has a great, healthy, prosperous year. Not just with your hobbies or your collections or your pets, but in life general. So, your Arachnid signing out for 2017. Have a great, great year, and thank you everybody for the support for the year. I don't know that we hit 400 subscribers yet. If we do, maybe I'll just do a quick, hey, we hit the 400 subscribers mark. But last I looked, I think I was at 392 or something like that. So, okay, I'm going to get this baby uploaded and get the phone charged before we head off for our Christmas dinner. See you guys later.